Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the National Assembly. Our principal, Mr. Henderson. Prior to starting tonight's game, we would like to ask everyone to join us in a moment of remembrance. This past weekend, Mason Campbell, 2016 graduate of Riley High School, passed away after a severe illness. Mason was on the cross-country team, track team, National Honor Society, among other activities. He was in his senior year in college. At this time, we ask that everyone please join us in a moment of silence for the remembrance of Mason. Thank you. And we now ask that everyone please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Tonight, our national anthem will be sung by Corporal Georg Owens and the National Guard.
And rise on through the perilous night, for the ramparts we run, for so gallant we stream, and the rocket's red glare, the harpers in there, getting through the night.
Thank you very much, Chuck. And the John Adams starting lineup brought to you by the South Bend Bears Youth Lacrosse Team. Exciting time for that group, no question about it. For the John Adams Eagles, they will start with Chuck Worsham. He is a 5'10" junior. A lot of juniors on these starting lineups. And so Chuck Worsham will get a start. He wears number 3. Also for the Adams Eagles, Montez Kennedy. That's Columbus, not Kennedy. He wears number 11. He's a 5'10" junior. Braden Saxton wears number 2. He's a 6'4" junior, playing it forward. Lynn King, also forward. He is 6'3" and a junior, wears number 4. And number 22 is Sidney Jeffries. He is a forward. He's 6 foot and a junior, wears number 22. The starting lineup now for the Riley Wildcats. You can keep an eye on number 0. Blake Wesley is a 6'5" leading scorer in the area. At a forward, Davion Anderson gets a start tonight. 6'4" junior, wears number 22. Number 5 is Philip Robles II. He's a 5'11" junior. Tyson Lee will get a start at forward. He's a 6'3" junior and wears number 21. At number 24 tonight, Jackson Copley, a 6'3" junior forward. So a little bit more height in that lineup for Riley tonight. And Adams will have to try to counter that with a lot of quickness and a lot of heads-up play.
It is a rich and glorious history between these two schools. This is the 142nd meeting between them on the hardwoods, with Adams leading by 7. They first met 80 years ago. Adams won the meeting in the regular season in December by a count of 63-50. And our officials for tonight's game, you're looking at Zach Sliwa. He's walking over to check in with Richard Gunn, and Paul Jones is working with them as well tonight as we get ready for our opening tip, sponsored by Bruno's on Mishawaka Avenue.
Adams will be wearing the road blue uniform with red and white trim. Riley in the home white uniforms, but tonight a very special uniform as the honor of the National Guard and the Junior National Guard that's here at Riley. And a lot of folks here tonight in the uniforms have a little bit of camouflage on the side for Riley, but they won't be able to hide from the Adams Eagles here tonight. To call all the action of this big NIC matchup, my partner, our Family Broadcasting Corporation Sports Director, Chuck Furby.
Braden Saxton for Adams jumping against Davion Anderson of Riley. And we are underway. The tip controlled by the Riley Wildcats. And actually in these National Guard uniforms, Blake Wesley wears 3. He found Jackson Copley for 2 underneath, and Riley takes the lead. Adams 18-3 on the year. Quintez Columbus airballs the 3. Wesley will come the other way. Robles down the baseline with the left hand missed. Tyson Lee went back up and drew the foul. And that gives you an idea of how quick the action will be here in Algie Oldham Gym tonight as the foul is called on Lynn King. That's his first.
One of the things we talked about is how Riley had to make it one and done, especially on long shots, and that three-pointer came off. They turned it right into offense.
Tyson Lee is not a good foul shooter, only 29% on the year. He's a heck of a football player. Defensive end, getting all kinds of D1 offers. He was injured to start the season. And Lee hits 1 out of 2, and it's Riley up 3-0. Eagles come in with a record of 18-3, 10-0 in NIC play. Their best win came over Marion on 46 back in December when they beat the Knights by 3. Sidney Jeffries' pass kicked out of bounds by Blake Wesley. The Eagles putting the ball into the hands of Chuck Worsham. And there's Lynn King and now Jeffries. So they're trying to get everybody a touch. King not shy about firing the 3, but he misses. And Wesley and the Cats want to run. Riley, 11-9 on the year. The 3 on the way by Copley is no good. And the ball knocked out of bounds by Adams. It'll be Riley ball.
Seen a couple of games like this, Chuck, over the course of the year where teams started out shooting the 3. So far, the two teams combined 0 for 3 from three-point range.
Davion Anderson for 3. He can't hit either. Tyson Lee with the rebound, and the big fella got trapped underneath. Now Blake Wesley for a deep 3. That's off the mark as well. Lee, though, another offensive rebound, couldn't get it to go. And finally, Saxton comes away with a carom for Adams. Played a minute 20. Eagles still looking for their first points. Wesley guarding Jeffries tonight. It's King and Lee, a couple of football players going one-on-one. And it's King down low against Lee, and the whistle and the foul called on Tyson Lee is for
Foul the ball game. Folks, we'd like to thank Bruno's Pizza on Mishawaka Avenue for providing dinner for the production crew tonight. The team at Bruno's wishes the athletes of tonight's game all the best of luck from Bruno's Pizza.
They're giving King the three-pointer. He will take it occasionally, but here he drives past Tyson Lee and draws the second foul on the Riley big man.
Well, there's a reason why he hadn't started all season, and that was to keep him out of foul trouble, but he's got 2 quick ones tonight.
Lynn King lost 15 pounds in the offseason, got himself into much better playing shape. 60% free throw shooter, taking free throws sponsored by Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball. And he gets the first points of the night for the Eagles. And Tyon Autry will come in off the bench to take the place of Tyson Lee in the Riley lineup. King had a career-high 25 points in Adams' loss to Michigan City. He knocks down both free throws. And some token full court pressure offered by the Eagles here. Copley, streaky shooter, has missed his first couple of threes. Now it's Davion Anderson trying to go to work on Columbus. Robles directs traffic, but capable of scoring. Wesley, a deep three, couldn't get that to go, and Columbus had a good box out for the rebound. Columbus underneath to Braden Saxton, back out to Columbus. Fuentes for 2. And Adams grabs the lead. Wesley thinking about the 3 again. Now it's Sidney Jeffries with the defensive assignment on plate. Copley, another corner 3. That's off the mark as well. So Riley stone cold from the outside, and Columbus lays it up and draws contact from Blake Wesley.
First foul on Wesley. Lee has 2.
Get another look from SBO. The pretty feed from Chuck Worsham setting that one up. Fuentes Columbus will go to the foul line where he's only a 58% free throw shooter on the year. Apparently there's a little bit of confusion over who the foul was supposed to go on. Either that or perhaps with these National Guard uniforms, the wrong entry was put in the scorebook for Riley with the uniform number for Wesley.
Could be.
If that's the case, that'll be a technical foul on Riley, and Adams will get some extra free throws out of this.
Well, the officials talking about it, going to get it right. Folks, Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball, located in South Bend, was founded to provide boys and girls ages 4 to 18 a park to play baseball and softball. They're proud that so many Adams High School students have played there over the years. Sign-ups are currently open for the 2020 season, and children from St. Joseph and Elkhart counties are welcome to get their name in for the season. Visit eastsidebaseballsoftball.org to sign up and like them on Facebook.
So here's Fuentes Columbus at the foul line hitting the first. Columbus, terrific three-point shooter, had 10 points the first time these two teams played. The free throw sponsored by the Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball Leagues. And Columbus knocks them both down. It's a 6-3 Adams lead. Our first quarter tonight brought to us by the Youth Leadership Program in South Bend and Mishawaka. Robles throws it away. He was trying to find Tyon Autry underneath, and Autry didn't cut far enough to get to the ball. By the way, if you're watching on the live stream tonight on either Facebook or YouTube, that's sponsored by John Adams High School. Worsham outside, down low to King. He spins and couldn't get it to go, but the rebound out of bounds off Davion Anderson.
The King is a big load in there, and he is 0 for 3 from the floor tonight. Does have a couple of free throws, but
and he did manage to draw a couple of fouls on the starter Lee. Columbus lost the handle, but Jeffries got it back. And Jeffries wide open for 3, connects. Sidney Jeffries is a 46% three-point shooter. He just doesn't hoist a lot of them, but he drains that to give Adams a 6-point lead. Wesley dropped it off for Tyon Autry, but he couldn't hit. And Saxton another rebound for Adams. King wants to work one-on-one against Autry, and he lays it up and in. Lynn King playing with much more confidence this year, and a timeout taken by Riley. Timeout on the floor with 4:01 to go in the first, and Adams has jumped out on top. Thanks to Sidney Jeffries and company, they lead at 11-3 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by IU South Bend, fulfilling the promise. Take a look at Andre Owens, the first-year head coach, a 91 Riley grad who then went to Oklahoma State and played in the NCAA Final Four with the Cowboys. He is the number 4 all-time leading scorer here at Riley and the number 1 assist man all-time. If you talk to his old coach, Bob Berger, as we have many times, Bob, he'll tell you Andre Owens, in terms of basketball sense, was the smartest player he ever coached.
Right now, the Riley Wildcats are looking at an 11-0 run by Adams, and now they turn the ball over.
A 5-second violation called on Wesley for not moving. Andre Owens felt like the defender was too far away from Wesley for it to matter, but Richard Gunn saw it differently.
You don't have to be active, jumping up and down and all those things. If you just closely guarded, that's where the count starts.
Meanwhile, Chuck Worsham's stop-and-go move got Robles up in the air. Saxton for 3 connects. Well, this is a typical Adams effort. 4 different players in the scoring column, and they're up by 11.
Where you just feel the rhythm of what's going on with Adams on the offensive end.
Wesley finally connects from downtown. He had 7 3-pointers in his 37-point effort against Northridge earlier this year. Fuentes Columbus off the back iron, and how high did Wesley get for that one? But he threw it away, trying to hit Davion Anderson. So Riley will go to the bench again. Clay Coleman will come in. He'll take the place of Copley, and Doug Adams also enters the lineup for Riley.
Copley with a cold start. He did make a 2-pointer, but he's 0 for 3 from 3-point range. Riley now 1 out of 6 when throwing up the 3-pointers.
Worsham working against the man-to-man of Riley. And Adams deciding to be patient in the half-court offense here. Columbus off the high screen. Nice move by Jeffries. He goes in strong and lays it in. Sidney Jeffries, who is a heck of a wide receiver for the football team, shows some of that football strength there. Wesley short on his own 3, tries a baseline jumper and hits it. If you don't box out the shooter, those kinds of things will happen. Saxton inside over Stump hits. Braden Saxton, the leading scorer on this Adams team, now has 5. And the Eagles have ripped the Nets for 18 in the first 6 minutes.
Got out to kind of a slow start, too. They're down 3-0, a minute and a half in.
Wesley staggering, lost it. And here comes Jeffries with numbers. Jeffries all the way in, missed the layup. Riley will race back the other way. Wesley, showtime. Seven for Blake Wesley. King for 3 over Stump. Lynn's got 7. And a timeout called by Chad Johnston and Adams. It's sponsored by Adams High School. 1:29 to go in the first. Blake Wesley announcing his presence with authority. But the Cats are still down by 11. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you by South Bend Orthopedics, the team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947.
Folks, you want to be part of something greater than yourself and become a globally minded critical thinker? Apply for the esteemed International Baccalaureate Magnet Program at John Adams High School by visiting adams.sb.school. That's adams.sb.school.
Jim Seitz and his staff over at Adams doing a marvelous job there on the east side. Bouncing around, and a bumping foul called against Chuck Worsham that time as Doug Adams drew the contact. The first on Worsham.
I think it might be the first foul whistle against Adams here tonight. No, it's the second.
Clay Coleman triggers the inbounds to Blake Wesley, but who will help Wesley with some scoring here out on the floor for Riley as they try to come back from this 11-point deficit? Beautiful move that time, and the contact made against Clay Coleman as he went to the hoop. Let's see who they called that foul on. I think they're going to call it on Columbus, and that's his first. So here's Clay Coleman, a 57% free throw shooter, and the transfer from Marion drains the first. 6-foot sophomore, only averages a little over 2 points a game coming off the bench. In fact, his career high is a near 5. That came against Merrillville early in the season. 1 of 2 at that trip from the stripe as King gets the rebound. Adams with a 10-point lead in the final minute of quarter number 1. Near steal, and now a full steal by Jamal Roberts. He'll lay it in. So the 5'11 sophomore comes off the bench with a couple, and all of a sudden Riley back within 8.
Took the ball away from King, but the pass to King was a little bit sloppy and was tipped and controlled finally by Riley.
Good movement in this motion offense by Adams. King got caught in the lane, but he was fouled. They'll call the foul on Jamal Roberts. That's the first on him.
Both teams with a couple of turnovers. Rebounding favoring Riley right now, but Adams shooting a much better percentage from the field.
And that inbound pass nearly stolen, but instead it sets up Kyron McClatchy. He airballs the shot. Wesley comes away with the ball, and here's a chance for Riley to make a run. Wesley all the way to the hoop for 2. Blake Wesley with 9, down to a 6-point game. Adams will get the last shot. Chad Johnson says, "We got to go, boys." Columbus had it knocked out of bounds by Wesley. 4.5 on the clock, as you see in the bottom right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard.
Riley has survived a 13-0 run by Adams in this first quarter.
And a steal by Coleman. He'll lay it up and in, and Riley, what a surge at the end of the first. They were down by 11, and they reel off 7 straight. Clay Coleman with the steal and the layup to end the period, and it's 21-17 Adams after 1 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV46 for 30 years. Let's bring in the third member of our crew, Bo Hunt, with the Bills Heating Sideline Report. Well, that first quarter was almost like 3 different ones.
Yeah, it definitely was the way it started out. You know, Adams, I think they were really moving the ball, motioning around. I thought they did a great job of doing that. I think the biggest thing, which we know that both of these teams can really explode at any time, just like Riley did there towards the end of that first quarter, guys.
5 points off the bench for Riley in that quarter, Bob, were key to their comeback.
No question about it. And, one of the things that happened early is they shot the three. Turned out most of their points in that 7-0 run came on 2-pointers and free throws.
They were attacking
transition.
and making some transition. You're right.
Yep.
So Adams begins the second quarter with the basketball. Second quarter brought to us by the Youth Leadership Program of South Bend, Mishawaka. Nice move by Quintez Columbus, and he spins but can't hit the shot. On the rebound, it comes to Jamal Robert, but he threw it right to Braden Saxton of Adams, who takes it all the way in for the bucket and the bump. Saxton, a savvy player who played his freshman year at Clay, then his sophomore year at Cassopolis, back in the South Bend area, and really helping this Adams team with some strength and size.
Really developed his confidence too as the season's gone along, because again, this is a team that doesn't have maybe a prolific scorer that would be in the top 7 or 8 in the city, but they have everybody invited to be part of it, and that's what Chad Johnson does so well.
By the way, this free throw sponsored by Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball. Saxton is a 50% free throw shooter on the year. Got that one to go. He leads the Eagles tonight with 8, and the lead back up to 7. Philip Robles checks back into the game for Riley and handles the ball up top. Down the lane, good stop and go move, but thrown away, and here comes Chuck Worsham the other way for Adams. Used the elbow to push off, and that's the call made by Zach Sliwa. Second foul on Worsham. Chuck knows it. Worsham will go to the bench. And actually, that's the third foul on Worsham. Here's Wesley dribbling out top for 3. He's got a silky smooth shot, and he's not afraid to show it. 12 points for Blake Wesley. We're back to a 4-point game. Columbus, stop and go move, shoots. It's short. The rebound out of bounds to Adams. The Riley student body begs to disagree with Paul Jones, who gives them a knowing look. Ball out of bounds, and again, Adams will retain possession, but this time on the sidelines.
That was almost one of those free opportunities for Riley again.
Here's Columbus on the dribble. Now Lynn King takes it into the lane. He got bodied pretty well. No foul call there. Ball loose, and Wesley has it. Working on his cousin Columbus. Lost the ball. Adams comes the other way, and Sidney Jeffries wanted to dunk. Instead, it's the putback by Columbus. Wild sequence there finds the Eagles up 6. Up top, Clay Coleman. Now Wesley, guarded by Sidney Jeffries, and he'll back it out. Wesley inside the arc, can't get that one to go. Good defense by Jeffries that time. King to Karam. 6-point Eagle lead in a highly up-tempo game on the south side tonight. Jeffries on the dribble. Saxton now working with both hands, couldn't get it to go, and the rebound to Jamal Robert.
Riley's been solid on the boards.
Still within 6. Anderson will try to cut that lead in half, but it's short, and King collects another rebound. Been one and done on the offensive glass for Riley tonight.
Which is really good considering, again, those long rebounds off those missed 3-pointers.
We've got a foul underneath an Adams player. On my chart, it says 34 is TJ Mitchell, but I think that might be Jesse Morgan wearing 34. Going down the lane, he got bumped pretty hard, and they'll call the foul.
Could need a couple seconds to get straightened out. So we'll tell you that, did you know that South Bend has a youth and high school lacrosse club for boys and girls between 2nd and 12th grade? They do. Players who compete with the South Bend Bears will have the opportunity to develop good sportsmanship, character building, and a variety of life lessons that extend far beyond athletics. Learn more at their website at southbendlacrosse.com.
So the foul was called on Clay Coleman. That's his first. And then Tavon Columbus checks into the game now. So Adams with Quintez and Tavon Columbus on the floor. But the ball goes to Riley here. Robles lob for Wesley. Broken up. Robert. And now it's Coleman with the tip. It's like watching the Flying Karamazovs out here.
Man, I'll tell you what. A lot of shots being taken. A couple more offensive rebounds for Riley.
Chad Johnston wants to spread it out. Tavon Columbus to Quintez Columbus, who shoots and hits. Tez now with 8. Adams keeping Riley at bay, not letting him get much closer than 4. Robles threw up a floater that wouldn't go. And Saxton gets another rebound. The bigs for Adams, Saxton, and King have done a yeoman job on the defensive board so far in this first half. King tried to feed Saxton, but Wesley read the pass. And Wesley working over his man, shoots. Couldn't get it to go. Wesley will take another fake. Go down the lane, stripped by Quintez Columbus, ahead to Lynn King. King all the way in, had it blocked by Copley.
And no foul called at either end. Boy, there's a lot of contact at both ends of the floor.
But there's a technical on Jackson Copley for taunting. It'll be after the block. He swats the shot from King, but it's the animation directed at King right there that drew the technical from Zach Sleewa.
King's going to get a chance to go to the free throw line where he's done a pretty good job tonight, 2 out of 2.
Free throws will be sponsored by Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball. And because they're technical fouls, nobody will be on the line with him.
Andre Owens not real happy about the call, but
it was not the first display of emotion that got Copley in trouble. It's when he went over and directed it at King that earned him the technical. You're going to see it here on the SBO replay. And watch as King goes up. The block is clean. The emotion is clean. But when he goes over and shouts right in the face of King, that was where the T was called, as Sidney Jeffries will take the technical free throws and hits the first. Sidney, the best free throw shooter on the team at 69%, and he drains them both.
And they get the basketball. So Riley had gotten within 4 a couple of times, and now the lead is back to 8.
And again, the balance of Adams really showing. They've had 4 players score tonight. Saxton and Columbus each have 8. King and Jeffries each have 7. It's Saxton outside for Adams, leading 30-22, late first half. Coming up at halftime, our first SourceBank halftime report. Saxton goes up strong, and he's in double figures.
Nice pass there by King.
Wesley coming the other way. Sends it outside for a 3 by Jamal Robert, but that's off the mark. And here come the Eagles. Jeffries went all the way, couldn't get it to go. King fell down, no whistle. He's still down on the ground. Wesley working against Columbus, who got the body, and no basket. They'll call the foul on the floor, but Lynn King slow to get up. He really came down hard on his tailbone.
He did. There's been a lot of physical contact at both ends of the floor. Keep an eye here on Lynn King as he's in there battling, and down he goes. 2 points for the takedown. Oh, wait a minute, that's wrestling.
Not a whole lot of cushion on that part of the body. Meanwhile, back to live action. Philip Robles airballs the three, and Adams saves it inbounds. Good play by Tavon Columbus.
Robles can score, and he's welcome to do that, but he's got good basketball IQ, much more valuable as an assist man and getting steals for Riley.
Another nice cut by Saxton, but this time he's stripped of the ball by Wesley. Coleman came away with it, and Riley has numbers. They'll give it to Copley. Nice little ball fake for two.
Good patience there by Copley. Waited till the defense cleared.
The 6'3" junior with those points. King had a good cut across the lane, but it's Tavon Columbus underneath. Couldn't get it to go. Here comes Riley. Coleman double teamed in the backcourt. Cats at one time trailed by 11. Got it all the way down to 3 at the end of the first quarter. And now down 8.
They are doing a good job on the boards, the Riley Wildcats, but shooting percentages still off for Riley compared to what Adams has been able to do.
Wesley directing traffic up top. This is about as patient as Riley has been in its half-court set tonight. Wesley over Jeffries is short, and the rebound comes to King. Now Adams gets it to Tavon Columbus, who goes over Wesley and couldn't hit. Columbus knocks it out of bounds. Riley will retain possession with less than a minute to go first half.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions, celebrating 60 years of serving the automotive, medical, aerospace, military, and defense industries. Go to iftworldwide.com for more information. Like the teams in tonight's game, they're working for a great finish.
We'll see if we have a great finish to this first half as we go into the final 40 seconds. King trying to harass Coleman and got too much contact, drew the foul. Second on Lynn.
Keep in mind what Riley was able to do at the end of the first quarter after being down pretty big. They closed it nicely.
They were able to create some defensive transition baskets there. The half-court offense for Riley has been a struggle not only tonight, but throughout the season. And Robles almost lost the handle there. Now Robles, who thought about taking the three. Riley's got to create something here in the final 10 seconds. It'll be Wesley doing it. King knocked it away, then got away with he didn't get away with it. They called it finally on the double dribble.
And they spent most of the clock, so just a couple of ticks left for Riley. Going to let him inbound the ball at midcourt.
And Andre Owens will take a timeout to set up this last play with 2 seconds left in the first half.
Our thanks to the team from St. Andrews Products for making our crew look so good tonight. They can do the same for your school or corporation. Call them at 800-628-9922. Or you can reach them by email at sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
This is a huge game in the Northern Indiana Conference race. Adams with a 1-game lead on the Marion Knights, who are playing Penn tonight. St. Joe, Riley, and Washington are all out of the conference race. And the halftime score from Marion has the Knights leading Penn by a count of 30-21. So if that holds and Adams holds this lead, well, then Adams is in the driver's seat. If Riley can come back in this game, the game we have next Friday night between Marion and Washington would be absolutely huge.
And Penn could always come back in that game against Marion. So a lot of things undecided as we approach halftime here. Folks, Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future, whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business. Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they are an equal housing opportunity lender.
So let's see what Andre Owens drew up here. He'll have Clay Coleman triggering the inbound, and you have to figure they're trying to get the ball into the hands of their top shooter, Blake Wesley. They do. Wesley launches a three, and it's well short, and the first half comes to an end. 32-24 Adams. Here's Bo Hunt with Andre Owens.
That first half, you guys go in the locker room down by 8. A lot of calls didn't quite go your way. Just your thoughts on your evaluation of the first half.
Well, we can't worry about the refs. You know, we just got to play our game. We got to settle down on offense. You know, we take one pass and then a quick shot. That's not going to work. We got to make them play defense a little bit more.
Thanks for your time.
All right.
Back to you guys.
All right, Bo, stick around, everybody. The First Source Bank halftime report is coming your way next, along with our TCU student athletes. There have been moments of emotion and moments of defense, but offense has carried the day. Braden Saxton has 10 to lead the Eagles, who are up by 8 at the break. This edition of the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Welcome back to the First Source Bank Halftime Report. 32-24, Adams on top of Riley. The band entertaining folks here at the half. Chuck and Bob high above the fray. Your thoughts on that first half?
Well, Riley maintained a rebounding advantage throughout the game, and that would have made a big difference, but their shooting percentages were well below what Adams had. And Adams got to the line 7 times, made all 7 of them. So there are some things that show you why it's an 8-point difference in the ball game. The thing is, you held Riley to 24 points. And again, if this game is 50 or under, that tempo, Adams needed to do that, and they're having success here in the first half.
Well, let's show you how it got to be this way as the Eagles got off to a very good start in this game. Sidney Jeffries hitting from the outside. So too did Braden Saxton off the pass from Chuck Worsham. They opened up an 11-3 lead. In fact, they would get up by 11 points as Jeffries crashes inside for 2 of his 7. But back comes Riley. Blake Wesley with the dunk, and then Wesley with a nice little scoop layup here. They were starting to get buckets off a transition. Clay Coleman, a key layup there to end the quarter. Wesley had 12 points in the first half. That's still below his average. Fuentes Columbus worked inside. He had 8 points. And then Braden Saxton led all scorers for Adams with 10. So that's how it's 32-24. And as Bob mentioned, the stats, sometimes it's a really simple game. The team that shoots the ball the best usually wins.
Yeah, Riley got more shots than Adams in the first half. But again, some of them were put back because of the rebound opportunities, but they still only shoot 38% from the field, 47 for Adams. The free throws were big. Rebounding favored Riley. The turnovers about even, but again, it's shooting. And I'll tell you what, a lot of the shots that Riley missed were ones that the coach wouldn't want back. But again, you just got to hit. They got to close that door. A little cold air coming in on the south end of the gymnasium today.
C title. They lead at 32-24. This has been the First Source Bank Halftime Report. Second half action from Algae 06. Game of the Week is being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our community brighter. 32-24, Adams on top, but I'm sure Chad Johnston probably wants to do a little fine-tuning. What does he want to do in Bill's Heating Sideline Report? We'll find out from Bo Hunt.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Chad, and he said 2 things. One, they got to do a better job on Blake Wesley. He goes, we're just not D'ing up good enough on him. Got to get at least 2 guys on him. He goes, finishing on the offensive end. We're getting the ball inside. We're just not finishing. We could easily be up 15, 20 points at this time, but we're not because we're not finishing. Guys?
All right, Bo, thank you very much. Our third quarter tonight brought to you by the Youth Leadership Program of South Bend, Mishawaka. It's interesting that he thinks that they didn't do a good job on Blake Wesley, even though they did technically hold Wesley below his average for a half.
Well, I think the perception is always going to be that when he hit a couple of threes and got some shorties, you got to take care of him.
Saxton with a deflection. Tyson Lee back into the game after those 2 quick fouls to start. Robles did not score a point in the first half.
Lee should be fresh.
Had a lot of time to sit and rest on the bench after King got him in foul trouble with 2 quick ones in the first. Riley showing some patience on offense, and then Wesley slashes to the hole but couldn't hit the shot. And here comes Adams with numbers. Fuentes Columbus all the way in for two. He's got such great body control, Bob.
He really does, and we've seen him use that on both ends of the floor. He uses it well defensively, great opportunities, and can finish at the basket.
Copley tried to find the cutting Lee, and instead it's out of bounds to Adams.
Turnover to start the half, missed shot to start the half. You know, Riley in the first half, 2 out of 12 from three-point range. And Adams Adams was pretty effective. They were in the first half 3 out of 5 from three-point range, but the difference in three-point shots is what the important number is there.
Jeffries misses at the one end for Adams. Davion Anderson misses at this end for Riley. And the rebound to Fuentes Columbus, who gets tied up. And on the held ball alternating possession, the ball will go to Adams.
By the way, congratulations to the Adams hockey team.
City champs. What a
champs.
goal by Josh Lerman in overtime to beat St. Joe last week by a count of 2-1. I believe his goal made an appearance on SportsCenter.
It did. What a season, and they've got the tournament coming up. So, city championship over. State tournament coming up.
Meanwhile, Riley sitting in a 2-3 zone, and Adams says that's fine. We'll bleed the clock a little bit.
The folks from South Bend Orthopedics say get back in the game with South Bend Orthopedics, team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947.
So now Riley comes out and plays a little man-to-man. Fuentes Columbus managed to make enough movement there to get Copley off of him for a couple of seconds.
We mentioned that Adams only took 5 3-pointers in the first half. I'd be surprised if they take any 3-pointers until they have to.
Columbus continuing the ball handling against Copley. Now he makes some penetration, and Tavon Columbus couldn't get it to go. The rebound to Riley. Let's see if the Cats can stay patient here. Nope, they'll go inside. A wild shot, but Copley gets bailed out on the foul.
Our TV 46 crew would like to thank Bruno's Pizza on Mishawaka Avenue for providing dinner for the production crew tonight. The team at Bruno's wishes the athletes in tonight's game all the best of luck. From Bruno's Pizza on Mishawaka Avenue.
Jackson Copley, a 73% free throw shooter, hits the first. He has 5 points tonight for the Cats. Kyron McClatchy comes in for Adams to take the spot of Tavon Columbus. I don't think Chad Johnston was enamored with the shot selection of Tavon on that last possession. Copley hits them both, down to an 8-point game.
What Riley needs to do is just take it one step at a time.
Meanwhile, Saxton from the foul line can't get it to go. Wesley a rebound.
Good looking shot.
Copley at the other end gets his own rebound, puts it up, got the bucket and the bump. Fouled by McClatchy, and here come the Cats. Well, we told you in the pregame, Copley was a key player to this team. They had to get some production from somebody other than Wesley.
Riley can cut 2 more points off its lead. I think the crowd will come to life here. It's a little quiet at Algie Oldham Gymnasium with the lead now.
5 straight points for Copley, and it's down to a 5-point game. Now Riley needs another stop. And instead, Jeffries is fouled by Lee.
I think Lee thought he was going to try to shoot it. And as it was, he was going to pass it, but foul called. Common foul out of bounds.
Big possession here for Adams. They have not had a lot of success in the third quarter, and that was a wild 3-pointer by Fuentes Columbus. Wesley all the way, drew contact, got the bucket. Will they score it? Yes. And one.
Wow.
Take another look on the SBO replay at the play here by Blake Wesley as he drew the foul from Lynn King. And Wesley now a 71% foul shooter with a chance to make it a 2-point game, and does.
Close as they've been.
Tyon Autry replaces Tyson Lee. And indeed, you'd have to go back to the very early stages of the first quarter to see the last time Riley was this close. Jeffries like a bull in a china shop with the charge.
Pretty good effort down low. And pretty good courage there from the Riley Wildcats. That was Tyon Autry who took the charge.
Tyon was giving up a little bit of strength and weight there. But like you said, good courage to stand in there and take it. Wesley inside. And charging foul called on Blake Wesley, and he can't believe it. And Andre Owens better be careful. He's out on the floor.
Coach is being counseled there by Wesley. Can't change the call. Give credit to the officials there for not overreacting.
Adams breaks the press and tries to protect a 2-point lead midway through the third. Andre Owens this time keeping his team in the 2-3 zone. With the lead dwindling, Adams forced to be a little more aggressive. King couldn't get that one to go. McClatchy a big rebound. Jeffries all the way in, couldn't get it to go. The Eagles have suddenly gone stone cold. Riley to Wesley for the tie. Wouldn't go. No rebound to King.
Oh, mark the clock there at 3:30. That was a game changer right there, and Riley will probably have another opportunity.
Riley establishing this 2-3 zone, trying to make Adams work, and Adams has not been able to score much at all here in the third. Columbus will take this three and hit.
Big bucket. 5-point swing right there.
Stuck it in right over Robles. Riley trying to find an answer at the other end. Davion Anderson with the head and shoulder fake. Copley has had the hot hand in the quarter. Wesley all the way in, and this time it's a charge again.
Wow.
Lynn King stood in there and took it. He took 7 charges last year, and you get to make the call on the SBO replay.
I thought King was moving just a little bit.
That is the third foul on Blake Wesley. Paul Jones getting an earful from Andre Owens in front of the Riley bench.
Cats made a terrific run here in the third quarter. They don't want to let it get away.
Jeffries makes a heck of a grab on an errant pass from King. Adams trying to keep the tempo slowed down. Saxton for 3. It wouldn't go. Anderson with the rebound. Lost the handle. McClatchy, wild reverse layup is good. Kyron McClatchy with his first bucket of the game. And a timeout for Andre Owens. Well, folks, this could be a nominee for the Electrical Workers electrifying play of the game. McClatchy over the shoulder, and the bank is open on a Friday night in South Bend. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1950. Student body trying to keep things fired up here in Algae Oldham Gymnasium. They've got a blackout going tonight. The problem has been the blackout has been on the scoreboard at times.
It has been at times. They made a nice run here in the third quarter. And I think Adams had part to do with that because they came out and they were very conservative as opposed to what they were doing in the first half. When you take the wind out of your sails, it's tough to get them reinflated, but they have with the three-pointer and the great reverse layup.
And they have kept the tempo and the pace where they wanted it throughout most of this game. Tyon Autry. Now Davion Anderson forces one up, and he finds the bank open on a Friday night.
Not sure he was planning on banking that in, but it went.
Jeffries. McClatchy's pass nearly intercepted, but Columbus hauled it in. McClatchy goes to work on Autry, and then that reverse layup wouldn't go, but Saxton was there to clean it up. King had it stripped off his knee and out of bounds. It'll be Riley ball.
Turnover is about even as ready to inbound the ball. I want to remind you folks, you want to be part of something greater than yourself and become globally minded critical thinker? Apply for the esteemed International Baccalaureate Magnet program at John Adams High School by visiting adams.sp.school.
Anderson couldn't hit, but Clay Coleman with an offensive rebound. Wesley has to go into the lane, then with the student body. Well, Adams loves having this defense going because this year when they hold opponents to 60 or less, the Eagles are 15-1. And they're certainly on this pace right now as the foul is called on Clay Coleman.
6-foot sophomore, Clay Coleman. Boy, I tell you, there's a lot of good young talent on both these teams. Partner, we can see this game again next year.
All 10 starters tonight were juniors. Anderson with the stuff, and Anderson at the other end got it to go with a bucket in the bumper. Did they call a charge? They called a charge, and then they teed up Blake Wesley.
That would be 4 on Wesley.
So here was the block and stuff by Davion Anderson. He comes all the way to the other end. Charge. Called the charge there over McClatchy. And then when Wesley was overly animated and expressive in front of the official, they called the technical.
That was not a charge. Defenders moving. You know, in the college game, they have that semicircle underneath there to help clarify some of the calls, but that was certainly a defensive player moving.
Now, technical fouls are supposed to count as personal fouls. They have not put Wesley's foul yet up on the board. Sidney Jeffries is going to the line for technicals for the second time tonight and hits the first. So the charge was on Davion Anderson, and now they have put Wesley's fourth foul on the board here with 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Jeffries now with 9 points. It's a 7-point lead. And Wesley will come sit on the bench next to the Riley coaches.
Wesley is a smart basketball player, could avoid that fifth foul, but right now he's pretty emotional, so you got to set him down, cool him down a little bit.
Meanwhile, let's see how Adams attacks Riley here in the final 30 seconds of period number 3. Jeffries all the way in, and he is fouled on the way up. Chad Johnston not happy with Sidney Jeffries taking it in. I think Chad wanted to hold for the last shot.
I think he did too.
They'll call the foul on Tyon Autry, his first. And here's Jeffries, a 69% free throw shooter. And he is now 5 of 5 at the stripe tonight. He has 10 points.
Did you know that South Bend has youth and high school lacrosse club for boys and girls between 2nd and 12th grade? Players who compete with the South Bend Bears will have the opportunity to develop good sportsmanship, character building, and a variety of life lessons that extend far beyond athletics. Learn more at their website, southbendlacrosse.com.
Here's a three in the corner, hit by Jackson Copley, who now has 12. Here comes Adams racing the other way. Jeffries lost it out of bounds with 0.1 seconds left. Not sure you can do anything in 1/10 of a second from a basketball standpoint, but we'll find out. Columbus with the tip. It went. Does it count? Yes! Richard Gunn says it counts. We'll give you one last look here on the SBO replay. Watch the clock. Is it out of his hands? Yes, it is by the time the clock. Now, did the clock start a little slow? Maybe, but Riley's playing at home. And it's Adams by 8 after 3 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. So are Bill's Heating Sideline Report.
Oh, we had a great football game out here. I think you guys are missing it, but no, very physical game, and it's been that way from the start. Both these teams are very physical. They know each other. They played against each other in the summers and different things, but very physical game, so continue to be that way, guys.
Jeffries gets the layup off the steal. Sidney now with 13. All of a sudden, the Adams lead is back up to 10. Remember, Riley had a shot to tie the game with about 3:30 left in the third quarter.
We thought that could be a game changer right there, and that's as close as they got. Both teams scored 13 points in the third quarter.
Davion Anderson off the mark, and the ball hit the strap above the rim, so the tip-in does not count.
Boy, anything that goes sideways for Riley has in the second half, including that. That doesn't happen very often. A lot of tough calls by the officials. That shot at the end of the third quarter went in and was judged to be good.
10-point Adams lead. And the Eagles trying to stay unbeaten in NIC play. Chuck Worsham lost the handle. And then a timeout taken by Adams. It's sponsored by John Adams High School with 7:03 to go in regulation, and the Eagles up by 10. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the IHSAA, partnering with TV 46 for 30.
Feel warmer. Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball, located in South Bend, was founded to provide boys and girls ages 4 to 18 a park to play baseball and softball. They're proud that so many Adams High School students have played there over the years. Sign-ups are currently open for the 2020 season, and children from St. Joseph and Elkhart counties are welcome to get their name in for the season. Visit eastsidebaseballsoftball.org to sign up and like them on Facebook. Baseball.
And they sponsor our free throws tonight. And Sidney Jeffries has spent some time at the line tonight. Sidney is 6 for 6 from the stripe.
You got him.
Yeah, afraid so.
Way to go, partner.
He had 17 in the first game against Riley this year in December. His career high came against Lakeshore, 24 points, and he had 8 steals in that game against the Lancers. 11-point lead for Adams, matches their biggest of the night. Coleman with a nice kick in transition. Needed some help. Tyon Autry was there but couldn't hit the shot. Copley misses on the tip, and the rebound out of bounds to Riley.
Cats got a call.
It was accurate, too. We had a good line on it from our
I think
broadcast
it was.
manager.
You're right. Boy, Autry had a good chance in there. Worked really hard to get it open.
Robles directs traffic. Ball knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Riley.
Robles missed a couple of shots early in the game, Chuck, and we haven't seen him shoot it since then. He's got to have more confidence than that. He's an experienced player.
Well, somebody's got to score with Blake Wesley on the bench, but right now, all the scoring lately has been done by Adams.
Little double turnover there as both teams had it, lost it, and Riley gets it back.
And Blake Wesley being sent to the scorer's table by Andre Owens to come back into this one.
Tyson Lee also getting ready to check in.
Riley, a team that averages almost 60 points a game, has been held to 37 tonight. But they'll get a chance to get some points with the clock stop here with the foul on Chuck Worsham, his 4th. Look at Andre Owens on that Riley bench. These two teams could see each other again in the sectional in just a couple of weeks. The draw is on Sundays. Hopefully this is the first.
You're going to make a comeback. You got to have everything you can get.
So here come Wesley and Lee back into the game for Riley. That 4A sectional that Adams and Riley are a part of also includes Culver Academy, Michigan City, LaPorte, and Plymouth. It will hopefully be a cakewalk for anybody in it.
That draw will be so big coming up.
Sunday afternoon at 3 on the IHSAA.TV website. Here's Columbus going right by his man, then pulls it back outside. King being bodied up. King to the hole, had it swatted by Copley, and Riley comes away with it. Wesley all the way in, missed the shot, and the rebound's out of bounds off Adams.
Boy, you just wonder what King is thinking about. Try to force a shot inside. It got blocked. Just don't need to be shooting this time of the game.
Adams with one NIC game left after tonight, and that is next Friday night at New Prairie, where they will be a heavy favorite. Here's Lee down on the block. Tyson Lee forced it up, couldn't get it to go. The rebound popcorns out. Copley couldn't get it to go. Now Lee chases down another one, and the ball knocked out of bounds off of Lee. It's Adams' ball.
Boy, had some good looks again, Chuck, in good position, but couldn't get it to go.
Remember, Adams has not won an NIC boys basketball title without sharing it since 1979. They've had about 4 others in that span, but they've always shared it with somebody. If they can run the table and go to 12-0 in the league, it'll be all theirs here in 2020. First time since Dave Hadaway was on the bench for the Eagles.
And Greg Humnicki stopped by at halftime. We had a chance to talk to Greg, and he was mentioning that when Hadaway's teams ran the table, they only had to win 9 games, so it's 12 now.
Timeout sponsored by John Adams High School. And boy, this is just the start of a big 24 hours of basketball for you here on TV 46. Let's start you off in 3A tomorrow, live on YouTube and Facebook at 1 and on TV 46 at 7. Adam Yoder's Northwood Brothers take on second-ranked Benton Central in the 3A semi-state at LaPorte. That's followed live on YouTube and Facebook at 4 and on TV 46 at 9 by the 4A semi-state Penn with the 2-time NIC MVP Trinity Clinton. and the D1 recruit Kate McCosker, and the top three-point shooter in the state with Reagan Payton. Still an underdog because they face number one Northwestern with two Miss Basketball candidates in Madison Layton and Kendall Boston.
And both teams coached by ladies who won Coach of the Year honors, and that should just be an absolute treat in Class 4A. And again, keep in mind, Northwestern had to move up last year because of the success factor.
Yeah, they're only the two-time 3A state champs. Kathy Layton, their head coach, trying to be the Phil Jackson of IHSA girls basketball. She had 3 titles at Tri-Central, trying to make it 3 at Northwestern. Fuentes Columbus inside for 2 out of the timeout. He leads the way for the Eagles with 17 tonight. Copley inside, forces it in for 2. Jackson has 15 this evening. Ties him for team high for Riley. But Riley can't trade baskets at this point. They've got to get stops. There's one. And a foul called behind the play. It's going to be on Adams. Lynn King called for the foul. That's the second on Lynn.
It'll be a common foul out of bounds to Riley.
The last one of those that Eagles have to give. Everything else from here on out, other than player control fouls, will result in free throws. Lake Wesley kicks it out to Copley. Can't get that one to go. King tried to save it to Jeffries, but threw it away.
Thought it was a travel before he threw it away, but either way, it works out well for Riley to get another chance. Well, if the Cats could put together 4 to 6 points in a row, this place would come alive.
But Adams has held Blake Wesley to just 3 points in the second half, and he couldn't get that one to go either. Tyson Lee up strong, too hard. The rebound put up and in by Wesley. And an official's timeout. Braden Saxton really took a shot from Lee going up, and Zach Sleewood just checking in on the well-being of Saxton. You'll see it here on the SBO replay. Keep an eye on Lee, and he just gets him with the top of the head right in the chin.
Been very physical all night long.
As Bo said, pretty good football game on the hardwoods. And another turnover. Here comes Doug Adams. But it goes the other way for Adams. And now Jeffries lays it up. And he was out of sync on his steps. Adams fortunate to come away with the basketball. Chad Johnston just disgusted with his team a little bit right now for the way they're tossing the ball around. And a palming call on Lynn King.
Wow. You know, another minute or plus has gone off the clock. It's still an 8-point game, but Chad Johnson looking up at the clock, so at least we ran a minute off the clock. But it has gotten sloppy.
And Riley is still hanging around. This is only a 3-possession game. Wesley from the foul line, bucket and bump. Fouled by Jeffries.
Can't foul a jump shooter in that situation. Gets 2 or 3, that's what he gets. We can't put him at the line.
Wesley, a 71% free throw shooter, looking for point number 20 of the night. And got it. So we're down to a 5-point game with 3 minutes to go.
Still don't get the feeling that the fans and the students know that it's a 5-point game. I would expect this place to be a lot louder.
Columbus needs some help and will back it out. It has been a strangely quiet crowd here at Riley since the first quarter tonight.
Credit to Adams. They traveled well tonight. Brought a lot of folks down from the north side of town.
Chuck Worsham ball handling up top. Worsham pulls up and shoots. No good. The ball comes to Wesley on the rebound. Here come the Cats. Copley over Jeffries. Another charge is called.
And that was a good call because he extended the arm.
You'll see what Bob is talking about on the SBO replay. Show it to me, partner.
Well, again, he comes down the floor, and what we can't see there is he did extend the left arm, and he sent him flying. And again, some pretty good bravery there by Jeffries to take that contact. But boy, a missed opportunity again for the Riley Wildcats.
Lose the possession. Now you're losing time. Down by 5.
But there's still time.
Chad Johnston trying to get a win. Worsham, though, blocked at the rim by Lee. And a foul coming up the court on Quintez Columbus. He'll send Davion Anderson, a 70% free throw shooter, to the line. Watch the defensive effort here by Tyson Lee, thwarting Chuck Worsham.
Chad Johnson was talking to the official about how he thought there should have been a foul call there. But, well, when you got a 10-point lead with 4 minutes to go and you're putting it in the hands of the officials, not a good thing.
Anderson misses the front end of a big 1-and-1. Jeffries chases down the pass in the front court. And Adams will try to take some more time off the clock, leading by 5. Jeffries slashes in, blocked by Lee, but this time a foul call.
And guess what? Lee didn't like that call. He's got 3.
And Sidney Jeffries goes back to the place where he's done most of his damage tonight, which is the foul line. Free throw sponsored by Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball.
Folks, St. Andrews Products has joined our team with the finest in promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and apparel. Call them at 800-628-9922 or email them at sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
16 points now for Sidney Jeffries after he buries both free throws. Copley hits at the other end for Riley. He has 17. Still a 5-point Adams lead with less than 90 seconds to go. You see the clock, bottom right corner of the Terra Credit Union scoreboard.
Got to start thinking about maybe who you want to put at that free throw line in this situation.
Columbus pulls up and takes the jumper and hits it. Quintez with 19.
Big bucket right there for Columbus.
Copley at the other end, got it to go. And a timeout taken by Riley with 58.8 seconds to go.
Folks, for 60 years, Imagineering Finishing Technology has been the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. They set the standard for the industries, including automotive, medical, aerospace, military, and defense. Go to IFTworldwide.com for more information. IFT has earned national accreditation and worldwide respect. Like the teams in tonight's game, they're working for a great finish.
Reminder, college basketball Saturday afternoon on 103.1 FM. The Purdue Boilermakers have struggled on the road, but they come to the friendly confines of Mackey Arena to take on the Michigan Wolverines. It's a 2 o'clock tip. Rob Blackman has the call for you on 103.1 FM, and then we'll split the frequencies on Sunday. 103.1 has Penn State and Indiana at noon. Meanwhile, my partner will call his 5th game in 4 days when Syracuse takes on Notre Dame at Purcell Pavilion, also a noon tip. You can hear that one on 92.1 and 96.9.
That's going to be our Pink Zone game for the Fighting Irish, and they've supported breast cancer research and awareness better than anybody in the country since that program's been in place, the Kay Yao Foundation. And looking forward to a fun day on Sunday. The colors should clash, the orange of Syracuse and the pink. Well, they'll be wearing pink as well, so it'll be a fun time.
Meanwhile, here at Algae Oldham Gym on the campus of Riley High School, a 5-point lead for Adams with the basketball, less than a minute left. Let's see who Riley decides to foul here. Braden Saxton underneath, buck and bump, and that could be a dagger. Lee fouls out. Saxton now with 12, the lead up to 7.
What a play. And again, when Adams has decided to go ahead and be aggressive like they were early in the game, they've been pretty effective.
Beautiful pass here from Fuentes Columbus. And Saxton then making Lee pay. And Saxton at the foul line, the free throw sponsored by the Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball. Rebound still loose on the floor. Finally, Riley gets it. Davion Anderson into the lane, fouled from behind by Saxton. That is not what Chad Johnston wanted, and he comes to half court asking one of his players to come talk to him.
Yeah, again, if he makes the jump shot, it's 2. If you put him at the free throw line, you got a chance to close the gap some more. Chuck, if there's a positive here tonight for Riley, when they look at the rebounding advantage they had, but the shooting numbers, the three-point misses, free throw misses, and also the turnovers. The good news for Riley is the reason that they are behind in this game has more to do with them maybe than it has to do with their opponent.
And yet they're still within 5. King on the dribble. And Riley will foul in King, who is a 60% free throw shooter. He'll take free throw sponsored by Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball.
Impressive performance by King tonight. Jeffries has been impressive. Columbus has been his usual solid performance. And Saxton has been a big factor. They've had good balance.
King hits the first. You saw Chad Johnston on the sideline. A win tonight would tie him with former Riley coach Bob Berger for 3rd place among South Bend high school basketball coaches in wins. Mark Johnson, the all-time leader with his wins at LaSalle and Riley. Then Dave Hadaway at Adams. And Chad Johnston looking for a career win 240 tonight as King goes 1 for 2. It's a 6-point game. Wesley all the way in for 2. But again, got a foul, and the foul called on Davion Anderson as he takes it out on Fuentes Columbus, only a 58% free throw shooter.
One of the things I was going to say there about Adams is when Wesley drove in and pulled up for the shot, they didn't foul him. So we got 2.
But the clock still ran.
Yeah, we got 2 instead of 3, and we got an opportunity to get those 2 back.
Columbus, 19 points in this one tonight. Make it 20.
He's impressive.
Free throw sponsored by Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball.
Just a junior. Say that about just about everybody in the floor tonight.
So season high 21 for Fuentes Columbus. Copley misses the rebound to Adams, and this should just about do it. Riley gets the ball, and Davion Anderson will score, but it's too little too late. The timeout taken by Andre Owens with 1 second left, and Adams up by 4.
Well, you'd think that you can't do much with 1 second. We saw Boston College beat Notre Dame women's team the other night. We saw Notre Dame beat North Carolina the other night.
Well, we saw with 1/10 of a second to tip in tonight, so who knows what could happen with 1 second. But just to remind you that this will put Adams at 11-0 in the NIC, 19-3 overall. I know Mark Galloway from Culver Academy is here scouting tonight, and he has to know that his team will have its hands full if they wind up facing the Eagles in the sectional in a couple of weeks.
I'd like to say hi to the staff at Plymouth and all the other schools that are watching tonight.
Kyle Benj at LaPorte probably has this one on his DVR. Tom Wells over at Michigan City.
Can't believe the draw comes out this weekend, and we're about 10 days away from the start of the 2020 Indiana High School Tournament. We've been their partner with coverage for 30 years.
Chad Johnston trying to direct traffic here. Sorry, Bob.
No problem.
King triggers the inbound. It comes to Columbus, and he is fouled before anything goes off the clock.
And we're playing at Riley, right?
Well, they weren't quick enough on the clock in the third, so maybe they make up for it there. Chad Johnston still teaching even though win number 19 is in the books here. Columbus has had himself a big night, season high now with 22. And he could make it 23. In case you're curious, his career high came against Carroll last year in the season opener when he had 24. So the Adams Eagles run their record to 19-3 on the year with a 61-55 win over the Riley Wildcats, and they will lay claim to the Goldsberry Trophy in 2020. Stick around. We've got a lot to talk about on our post-game show, including our IU South Bend fulfilling the promise player of the game and our electrifying play of the game. Comes your way next, number 46, Game of the Week.
Standing by with our player of the game, Quintez Columbus. First off, 23 tonight. Very physical game out there. Just talk about the physicality of this game.
We knew coming in that they was going to play us tough after we beat them last time, and know people want to beat us, and now we went NIC, and we just want to keep going because we know people coming after us.
Adams hasn't won the conference outright by itself since 1979. You guys clinched at least a share of it. What would it mean to beat New Prairie and win it outright?
It'll be an honor, It's been. I'm not sure if Adams has ever done that, but it'll just be an honor. And our coach did it once again. He let us know that it's gonna be tough. Nobody's just gonna let us come in and win it.
Not only the conference championship, but you guys got sectional coming up as well, and I know that's right on the horizon. Just thought you guys have one of the toughest sectionals in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. We don't want to come in any game thinking we're just gonna beat everybody. We're just gonna play everybody hard and try to move on to the next game.
Hey, congratulations on being our player of the game. Best luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys. Good job, man. Just talk about the physicality of this game.
We knew coming in that they was gonna play.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by
They go high above the fray. An exciting game as we anticipated. Riley, just as it has been the case all year, in big games against really good opponents, just can't quite get over the hump.
To sit down and look at this video, look at the turnovers, look at the mistakes, look at the 3-point shots they took in the first half when maybe you could have got to the basket, maybe drawn a couple more fouls. Not to second guess Andre Owens and what he's trying to do with this team, but Riley is a very good team, and they could play better. They could have better results if they just can play within themselves. But give Adams a lot of credit. You know, that 11-0 run early in the game, which gave them the lead, and they never gave it back and built it up to 11, 12 points and came down to close finish.
And every time that Riley challenged them, Adams was able to come up with a big hoop. And a lot of those times, those hoops were provided by the young man who is our player of the game, Fuentes Columbus, standing by now with Bo Hunt with our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise feature.
Standing by with our player of the game, Fuentes Columbus. First off, 23 points tonight. Very physical game out there. Just talk about the physicality of this game.
We knew coming in that they was going to play us tough after we beat them last time, and know people want to beat us, and now we win NIC. It is just be an honor. And our coach did it once again. He let us know that it's going to be tough. Nobody's just going to let us come in and win it.
Not only the conference championship, but you guys got sectional coming up as well, and I know that's right on the horizon. Just thought you guys have one of the toughest sectionals in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. We don't want to come into any game thinking we're just going to beat everybody. We're just going to play everybody hard and try to move on to the next game.
Hey, congratulations on being our player of the game. Best luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you both. Thank you, Fuentes. And now time to look at our electrifying play of the game, brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. A lot of candidates for this one, Bob, but we're giving it to a guy. This was his only basket of the game, Kyron McClatchy.
How did you make this happen? The reverse layup off the glass, gets it to go in, and it was a big bucket at the time. It helped the Adams get back to that controlling lead in the ball game. Boy, there was some shots that could have been the electrifying play, and there were some that didn't go in for Riley that could have been the electrifying play. So there were some big moments in this ball game, and I tell you, our crew did a great job. You know, I think we should reward them with 2 games to do tomorrow.
Exactly. One is not enough. So we'll have semi-state coverage for you tomorrow. We'll tell you all about that as we salute our crew tonight, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo. And we had some wayfaring strangers come in tonight, like Joe Fratina and David Krasinski, guys that kind of putting in cameo appearances tonight. But everybody's got to get a good night's sleep because we've got doubleheader action on the high school scene from LaPorte. The girls 3A and 4A semi-states. We'll start you off live on YouTube and Facebook at 1 o'clock, on TV 46 at 7 p.m. with the 3A semi-state between Northwood and Benton Central. That's followed at 4 p.m. YouTube and Facebook, 9 p.m. on TV 46 by the 4A semi-state between Penn and Northwestern. And don't forget to follow us at 46 Sports on Twitter. Now for my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famers Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final. Adams beats Riley 61-55. The final. So long from the south side of South Bend.